Okay, so ada sikit projek saya dengan Zame, okay. So we sort of ada idea, but we think we should work together, and tak tahu PKP nak last berapa lama lagi. So we are here and work on something exciting, cycling related stuff, okay. So we're gonna do a lot of reviews on cycling tech, cycling products, cycling apparel, shoes and whatnot. As you've seen, Zame have put out some awesome reviews on a few things, some bike build videos, and I will collaborate with Zame. I'm gonna talk a lot more on the technical side of the bicycle, bike maintenance, bike upgrades, what's worth spending money on, what's a watt saving stuff, okay. So we're gonna get into this stuff today, and hopefully we can sort of share a lot of our cycling related stuff, cycling related content, something special, something that you can sort of look at it as a guidance, so that anda tiba-tiba bahasa Melayu anda boleh buat keputusan yang terbaik untuk spend and duit yang telah berhempas pulas. Kau mesti sekarang PKP kan, and duit susah nak dapat, ada orang hilang kerja dan sebagainya, tapi still berminat untuk cycling. So what's bang for your bike upgrades and that sort of stuff, maintenance, and supaya basikal boleh tahan lama. So here, so this is the channel. We have not decided what's the name for this channel just yet, so bear with us. But let's get straight into it. Okay, so sedikit background pasal diri saya. I'm commonly known as @muslimcyclist dekat Instagram, ataupun nama penuh saya Izzat bin Roslan, and boleh panggil Izzat, kan. Kadang orang jumpa kat kedai panggil saya @muslimcyclist. That's fine, okay. That is absolutely fine. Okay, a little bit of background. So I am a Velo Academy Professional Bicycle Mechanic certification dekat Brisbane, Australia. So that was done in 2016, and then ever since then saya bekerja selama daripada 2016 sampailah 2020 di Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, which is not far from Gold Coast. Dekat sana I've done Shimano Technical Education Certification for road product technology, in terms of installation, product knowledge, and juga service. And also dekat sana I've followed some continental teams to races. So as a team mechanic, and now alhamdulillah back in Malaysia after many years dekat Brisbane, and now currently swinging my spanner at the Bike Artisans. Okay, so our first video, we're going to talk about the hardest working part on the bicycle, which is rantai. I know what you're going to say about this, and Shimano derailleur, kaset, rantai, tiba-tiba campact punya crankset kan. This is Zame punya bike, I don't roll this kind of stuff. So anyways, we're going to talk about chains. As you can see, they're not clean, okay, they're not clean, and a lot of people sebenarnya tak tahu that you can actually gain the most amount of watts from your chain by taking care of it, cleaning it, keeping it clean, keeping it well lubricated, and make sure the lubrication goes to where it needs to go. Actually is a game changer in terms of the durability, the shifting performance, the easiness of pedaling. And ramai orang kata nak kena tukar OSPW dan sebagainya, but just by maintaining your chain and keeping it properly lubricated with the correct lubrication, you can actually gain that watts. In fact, you can actually gain more watts. Boleh sebut bahasa-bahasa ni, watts ni maksudnya the amount of power you need to produce to make sure the bike goes forward. So by properly taking care of it, you can actually save as much watts as possible. So we're talking about properly cleaning it, and then put a high quality lubrication. You can actually gain easily 4 watts. Itu umpama you have 2 Ceramic Speed OSPW on your derailleur. Unfortunately you can only put 1, but if you can only put 2, if you can put 2, you put 2 lah. And so that is just by cleaning it and taking care of it, which is, you know, berapa ringgit je kan, compared to letak OSPW, which is, you know, 2,500 ringgit. One saves you 2 watts, so you need to spend 5,000 ringgit to save you 4 watts. when all you need is to clean and lubricate your chain. Okay, so we're going to talk about chains today. So we're going to take off the chain, fully immerse it in degrease and clean everything until it's squeaky and rattly cleaned, because everything has been cleared, so it's going to feel fairly loose. And then I'm going to introduce you a super fast and super durable and a game changer chain lubrication. Okay, so the most important part is to break the chain is obviously a chain plier, providing that you have a quick link, which I will show later. If you don't have this, you can use a chain breaker, or if you don't have a quick link, you can use a chain breaker, but that please use a new pin to rejoin the chain. Sebab an old pin, basically you have unriveted it, you nak masukkan balik, so it's basically just holding it rather than locking it. Okay, so cari quick link. You might have to rotate the chain around to find the quick link, which is there. So that's a quick link. So all you do is snap them together. So once you snap them together, hold the chain. Sebab nanti, because of the spring of the derailleur, nanti your chain can flaps around. So hold the chain and then just do a slight twist lah. Nampak? So slight twist to open things up. Pegang. Okay, alright. You can see it's filthy. Okay, then just take off the chain lah carefully supaya tak damage the paintwork. Okay. My thoughts on this chain is, as you can see, my hands is very filthy, like I had a glove on, otherwise it's messy. It's messy. Okay, so this Rantai ni, this is a Dura-Ace CN HG901, so Dura-Ace 11-speed chain, and a lot of third-party testings dekat luar sana have shown that this is the fastest 11-speed chain. If you're running an 11-speed drivetrain, Dura-Ace is the fastest chain. You know, ada rantai yang lagi mahal kat luar sana, your KMC, DLC and whatnot, and memang cantik and you can sort of mix and match with your bikes. But in terms of efficiency and how fast the chain is, in terms of watt saving, this is the fastest chain out there. But at this stage, it's probably the slowest chain out there, and because of the grit and the dirt and whatnot, and by looking after your chain and replacing it when it needs to be replaced, takes care of the more expensive part, cassette and chainring. Zame is using a Campy punya chainring, so this is even more expensive. Okay, so he really needs to look after his chains. So that's what we're going to do today. Alright, so saya akan ceritakan sedikit barang yang ataupun alat-alat dan juga bahan-bahan yang saya gunakan untuk bersihkan rantai ni. First is a container, yang kita boleh tutup lah, and something macam container this size, okay. Botol pun okay, but as long as botol tu dia punya opening besar kan, so that you can put in the chain and take out the chain afterwards lah kan. Botol memang you can put in the chain, but then you cannot take out the chain afterwards. So something you can close, and something relatively flat, so that you can get the chain and the degreaser sort of and fill in properly, and you don't need to end up using too much of the degreaser, and compared to you pakai macam botol, you kind of have to fill it all the way up, whereas this, the chain can lay as flat as possible. So the cleaning agent, this is what I've got. This is like a citrus cleaner degreaser. This is what I've got lying around in the house to do some house stuff, but ideally, if you can get a hold of yourself with a bike specific degreaser, and something macam Morgan Blue chain cleaner ke, Markov drivetrain cleaner ke, or any bike specific degreaser is really good. Ada setengah orang akan recommend macam diesel ke, kerosene ke, or some sort of automotive engine cleaner ke, whatever kan. Yes, they are great. I mean, it cleans really fast, but the problem is it will leave some residual film on the chain surfaces. So when you re-lubricate the chain, you're not lubricating straight onto the chain, rather you're lubricating on top of the residual film. And also, once you lubricate the chain, it goes black straight away. It goes completely black, and then the drivetrain is not efficient, and then the lubrication will not become durable. Okay, so that's why you use something like a bike-specific degreaser, which leaves almost no residual film. Or if you're stuck, you don't have bike-specific degreaser, you have a hardware store dekat dengan rumah kan, you can just buy something like a citrus cleaner degreaser. Just what happens, I have to have, and I'm out of bike specific degreaser, PKP, so so get a bike specific degreaser. That's the cleaning agent. Okay, the other one is something like an acetone. Acetone. So once you've cleaned the chain with a degreaser, clean it with an acetone. Okay, clean it with an acetone. Why? Number one is to get as much of the dirt and grime and gunk out of the nooks and crannies of the chain, because acetone is very fine liquid. Okay, so dia boleh masuk dekat all the tight tolerances dalam rantai tu, and also to get rid of any residual film formed on the chain. Okay, so if you're using bike specific degreaser, you only probably need just one round just to make sure that everything's off. If you're using something like this, you will definitely need to put the acetone. But if you're using kerosene, diesel and stuff, it's really hard to get rid of the residue film. Okay, even with acetone. Okay, you need a lot of acetone to get rid of the residue film. Okay, so two-step process. First, degrease it with a degreaser. Bike specific degreaser is best, and then rinse it off with acetone and then just let it dry. Okay, first step, so kita tuang degreaser ni masuk dalam ni. So just to make sure the whole chain is fully immersed, and then we just ideally we will let it soak for 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, so this is 15 minutes in. If you're starting fresh with a new chain and from the wrapper and everything with the factory lubrication, you definitely need the 15 minutes. And if you're starting from a coming from wet loop into something like waxing, definitely need a 15-minute immersion. If you from waxing to waxing, you don't need 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, you will do you're gonna shake this container and agitate it to remove everything from the chain. So you're looking at between 1 to 2 minutes of shaking. So we'll get straight into it. Okay, so this is we've done with the first degreasing with the shaker bottle. So now as you can see, they're not fully clean. We might need a second or even a third one. So after each process, bike specific degreasers are great because most of them are water soluble or water based degreaser. So you can just wash it off with water and it sort of pushes out as much dirt and grime and grit from the chain, and then you return back to the shaker bottle and just degreasing with the second or the third round of degreasing, depending on how filthy it is. Okay, so I'm going to take the chain off out of this container and then just quickly rinse it with water, and then these degreasers, just dispose of it responsibly. What I'm going to do is just going to put it aside in different containers that I can use it to degrease the other parts of the drivetrain. Okay, so let's go inside and hose this thing down. Okay, so we'll take off the chain, give it a good shake. Okay, make sure you get your partner's approval before dirtying your your bathroom sink. Okay, so just take everything out. Okay, what we're gonna do is this thing here, and then I will just put this away in this container. Now don't use this for riding anymore. Dispose of it. We're just gonna rinse it off with water, but if you have like a brush or something, you just quickly get rid of all of that. Okay. Get in between the rollers. All you're doing is just agitating. Okay, and then just rinse it off with water before we round two. Okay. And then just repeat the process again, whether second or third round. So how do you know it's enough round? So if you see that the degreaser is not changing much in terms of its color when you shake it, so that's when you know you can start going into the acetone process. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this the second or third round, and we'll see how it goes. after second shaking in the degreaser. So you see it's not as dark as previously. So I guess once we rinse it off with water and then just wipe it dry before we get into the acetone process. Okay, it's not bad for 2 rounds. Most chains you probably need, if you're coming from a wet lube and really black and gunky chain, you most likely need 3 rounds of it. Okay, but these ones we've got for 2 rounds. Happy days. Jangan lupa quick link kat dalam. Quick link tadi. Satu. Biasa kita just ambil bros and just Okay, so just the rinse tadi and just lap the container, and also the chain tadi just give it a quick wipe. And kalau yang ada no wax kat rumah tu bolehlah pakai no wax. Tak tahu nak guna kat mana kan, dah beli mahal tak tahu nak guna kat mana, bolehlah pakai kat sini. So alright, just wipe it. It's kind of clean, but you don't know what's actually going on the inside of the inner plates and everything. So that's why we're just gonna have a wash it off and rinse it off with acetone. Okay. So the last process would be of cleaning the chain is the acetone. Okay, acetone. Where do you buy this? Hardware store these days, Lazada atau Shopee. Just type acetone in that search button. Any acetone works. It's the same thing. Okay. Same process. Just in there, make sure the chain is fully immersed. Okay. Once kita dah shake the chain inside the container and then you don't see much change in the color, that's when you know it's done with the acetone, and then basically you just take it off and wipe it and let it dry. Okay. So we'll see how this one goes with the first shake of the acetone. So we might need 2 rounds. As you can see, it changes color, and so we'll do this one 1 to 2 minutes of shaking, and then we go another round of acetone. Okay. Yeah, though. So another round of acetone, which should get most of the stuff out lah. Okay. Not too bad. So this is relatively clear, so I think we're pretty much done with the clean process. Okay, take it out and then sort of just wipe dry with a paper towel ke apa ke, and then just hang it for a bit until all the acetone evaporates, and will evaporate with all the whatever's left on the chain. Okay, and then sebelum pasang rantai tu, just make sure rantai chain rings and your cassette semua, make sure they clean as well lah. So there's no point putting a very clean and well lubricated chain over a filthy other parts of drivetrain lah. So it just sort of defeats the purpose. So I think Zami has been keeping this relatively clean, so you don't need to do a full degrease. Otherwise, please do so lah, and just like how you normally degrease and wash your bike. Okay. This one is relatively clean, so I'm just gonna spray some parts cleaner ataupun some sort of alcohol spray, and then just wipe everything off. Okay. Cassette pun tadi dah bersihkan. Okay, so all that's left is to put on the clean chain. Okay, so ni rantai yang telah dibersihkan. It's clean, and not sure. Just make sure kita check dekat dalam semua kan. There's no semua bersih, and it feels clean, and most importantly, you want to know how it's clean is you give it a good shake. I'm not sure if the mic can catch the sound, but that's the sound. Okay, so how do we put back the chain? Simple, drop down here, and then how I normally just spin the crank forward. So make sure Shimano, the chain is directional, okay? So wherever the writing is faces outside of the bike, okay? Not the other way around. And so at Shimano, if you can see clearly, there's that writing, and then the other side there's no writing. Writing side faces outside the bike, okay? You don't go down here, you go up here, okay? So pull the rider, go up here, in you go. And then obviously inside this bit here, and then just pull things down, okay? Now, the quick link, this is how I normally do it. Take the chain, and out like that, okay? Oh, careful. So take the chain out like this, okay? So this way you don't have to fight with the spring, okay? Okay, so just back pedal it. Take the quick link up here. Sometimes certain quick links are easy to close in, something like Connect. So this one KMC, if you use it quite a few times, so it's easy to close in. So if it hasn't closed in, so hold the back wheel and then just press down on the pedal. Okay, and then everything will just locks in. So this is the game changer lubrication. So it's basically a hot melt wax in a bottle, okay? So hot melt wax has been proven the fastest lubrication, one of the most durable lubrication compared to your normal dry lube, and also it keeps your drivetrain clean and also durable because it does not attract dirt. And with normal oil-based lubrication like a wet lube, what ends up happening is that all the dirt and everything attracts to the oil on the chain surface, and then it migrates into the inside of the rollers and pins and ends up wearing out the chain. So wax doesn't happen because it does not attract dirt inside the chain. The dirt just basically just stays outside, and then so your drivetrain have a longer life. So basically, in a nutshell, with the hot melt wax where you put your chain in the pot, you basically go faster for longer, all right? So Silca has done some sort of amazingness, is that they've made the hot melt wax in a bottle instead, okay? So that's what we're gonna use today. So we're gonna, with this Silca zero friction cycling, so you can go to your website, zerofrictioncycling.com.au. It's sort of like a third party chain testing and lubrication testing. So they have found that these Silca super secret chain lube, the cost to run per 10,000 kilometer has proven to be the cheapest, okay? So when I say cost to run per 10,000 kilometer, that means is the cost to run your drivetrain, so the chain, the sprockets and the chain rings, so you have more life out of your chain rings and your sprockets. So your chain will last at least twice or 3 times longer than how it would with a normal wet lube. Okay, so the process to apply this thing as recommended by Silca is give it a good shake. Okay, now the chain position is very crucial on the bike in order to apply this. So they recommend you apply it in a matter of big chainring on the front and then big chainring on the rear. All right, take it all the way up, cross chain it, big. All right. Why they recommend to apply it in this manner? Because as you can see from the back here, is that the chain is cross chaining, so it's open. We're basically, by cross chaining it, we're opening up the chain so that the lubrication can actually goes inside the inner plates, the pins and the rollers, and then it goes through so many articulations. So it goes up here, so that it bends in here, and then bends straight and bend and straight and bend, and then all the way. So all these bends and straights and this cross chain it allows the chain to retain the lubrication a lot more than just by applying it in whatever chain location. Okay, open it halfway. So it's like a tip like that. So just open it halfway, and then all you're doing is just apply it and then pedal backward So you're looking at 5 pedaling revolution. Okay, close it. Just use your fingers to work the wax into the chain. Okay, so now all that's left is to just let the lubrication dry, the wax dry. Silca recommends that you between minimum of 8 to 10 hours, but they recommend the best result would be to let it dry for 24 hours. Okay, it's a long time because to allow for the wax to harden up in the chain. Okay, it's a long time, and I know this might not be for everyone, but people who's after every watts to the back wheel, and people who wants their hard-earned money of buying all these expensive group set. You know, if you're having your SRAM Red 12-speed AXS, your Dura Ace, your Campagnolo Super Record group set, or the Campagnolo ECA 13-speed, you know. So if you want your drivetrain to have a long life, this is a well worth steps and approach to your bike, and then it keeps your bike clean. Okay, so there you have it. Macam mana prosedur untuk kita bersihkan rantai, and then kita re-lubricate balik lah dengan Silca Super Secret Chain Lube. And in fact, that's the procedure. If you ever nak guna any wax-based kind of lubrication, dan I know kat luar sana ada brand-brand lain macam Ceramic Speed UFO Drip, there's Squirt or Smooth. But we are showing you this Silca Super Secret Chain Lube for this process. Thanks for having us. Okay, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe supaya ramai orang yang like-minded cyclist, orang yang berminat pasal basikal akan dapat notification dan juga akan pop up dengan feed. So your support in that matter helps us a lot. And that's a wrap for our episode, and hopefully more episodes will come in the future. And thanks for watching.